No truer words have ever been spoken, and that's this: no one's coming to save you. Not the perfect mentor, not the right moment, not the dream opportunity that lands in your lap. There are no shortcuts, no magic button, no person riding in to rescue you from your pain, your past, or your patterns. And that might sound harsh, even a little cold, but it's not meant to discourage you. It's meant to wake you up. Because once you accept that no one is coming to save you, you take all your power back. You stop waiting, you stop blaming, you stop outsourcing your life to circumstances, to people, or to luck. You stop sitting in the passenger seat and instead, you grab the wheel. See, the idea that someone else is going to fix it for you, that's a lie. Truth is, it's on you. It's on you to change. It's on you to heal. It's on you to rise. But that shouldn't be viewed as a burden. That's freedom. Because if it's on you, then you're not stuck. You're not trapped. You're not waiting anymore. You can move. You can act. You can shift your entire life starting today. Not because someone gave you permission, but because you decided to stop waiting. Yes, it's hard. Yes, it takes time. Yes, it will stretch you and break you and ask more from you than you thought you had to give. But you have everything you need to start. You don't need to be saved. You need to be activated. You need to believe in your own ability to change. You need to look in the mirror and say, no one's coming to do this for me, but I've got me, and that's enough. You are aware that every success story started with someone deciding they were done waiting. They stopped expecting life to make it easier. They stopped hoping someone would discover them, fix them, or take the weight off. They said, I'll carry it. I'll figure it out. I'll become who I need. And you can too. Start small. Start messy. Start unsure, but start. Because action beats hope every single time. Don't wait for motivation. Build discipline. Don't wait for applause. Get to work. Don't wait to feel ready. Ready is a myth. Just go. And yes, you'll have setbacks. You'll get tired. You'll want to quit. But you won't, because deep down, something in you knows no one's coming. And that's the best news ever. Because if you're the one who builds it, no one can take it away. If you're the one who climbs, every step is earned. And if you're the one who saves yourself, you'll never have to fear falling again. You'll know how to rise. You'll know how to rebuild. You'll know the strength was in you the whole time. So stop looking for a hero and be the hero. Be the one who decides you're not waiting anymore. You don't need a rescue, you need a reason, a plan, a decision. No one's coming to save you, but guess what? You're already strong enough to save yourself. And that's the beginning of everything. Not everything requires a response. There's a quiet kind of power that most people never tap into. It's the power of not reacting. See, we live in a world where everything is pulling for our attention. A rude comment, a passive-aggressive email, a driver who cuts you off, a text left unread. And every time something bothers you, we feel like we have to do something about it. We feel the urge to react, to explain ourselves, to fire back, to prove a point. But what if I told you this? Not everything requires a response. Not every comment deserves your energy. Not every insult needs a reply. Not every situation needs your attention. Some things just don't matter. And the moment you realize that, you step into a new level of peace. You gain control, not over the world, but over yourself. Think about how much of your day is spent getting worked up over things you can't control. Someone else's opinion, someone else's choices, the weather, the news, the past, the future. And yet none of those things are in your hands. What is in your hands is how you respond, or if you respond at all. There's strength in restraint. There's wisdom in silence. And sometimes the most powerful things you can do is walk away quietly. Letting go isn't weakness, it's emotional maturity. It's knowing that your peace matters more than proving a point. It's knowing that your energy is limited and you don't owe it to every distraction that pops up in your day. People will talk, let them. Situations will unfold that you didn't see coming, let them. You won't have closure for everything, accept it. Some things aren't worth fighting for, not because you're giving up, but because you're choosing yourself over unnecessary battles. Because at the end of the day, what really matters? Is it that you won the argument, or is it that you protected your mental space? Is it that you had the last word, or is it that you kept your peace? We often feel the need to defend ourselves because we think silence means weakness. But silence can be the loudest answer of all. Silence says, I know who I am. I don't need to prove it to you. Silence says, you don't have the power to pull me out of alignment. This doesn't mean you let people walk all over you. It means you choose your battles wisely. You speak when it's meaningful, not out of impulse. You reserve your energy for the things that actually move your life forward. It's not about avoiding everything, it's about responding with purpose. So the next time something annoys you, ask yourself, does this deserve my energy? Will this matter a week from now? Is this helping me grow? And if the answer is no, let it go. You only get so much energy in a day. Why spend it on things that drain you instead of things that build you? Focus on your goals. Focus on your growth. Focus on your peace. Because your peace is sacred. Your mind is sacred. And you protect both by choosing wisely what you give your attention to. You can't control everything, but you can control you. So choose peace, choose silence, choose power, because not everything requires a response. We've all heard the phrase, practice makes perfect. But the reality is, perfection doesn't exist. No matter how much you practice, there will always be more to learn, more to refine, and more ways to improve. So let's throw that idea away. Practice doesn't make perfect. Practice makes improvement, and improvement is what truly matters. If perfection were the goal, most of us would quit before we even started. We'd look at our mistakes and think, what's the point? I'll never get it perfect. But when you shift your mindset to progress over perfection, everything changes. You no longer see mistakes as failures, you see them as lessons. You no longer avoid challenges, you embrace them as opportunities to grow. You no longer wait until you're ready. You start now, because every step forward makes you better. Look at the best in the world, whether they be athletes, musicians, artists, or entrepreneurs. None of them are perfect, but they commit to improvement. They practice, refine, adjust, and push forward, always looking for ways to be just a little bit better than they were yesterday. Because greatness isn't about being flawless, it's about being relentless. So how do you embrace this mindset? First, show up even when you don't feel like it. Some days you won't want to practice. Some days you'll feel stuck. But the secret to getting better is consistency. Improvement isn't about big gains, it's about small, intentional steps repeated over time. Number 2 is focus on progress, not perfection. Instead of chasing an impossible ideal, measure your success by your growth. Like, did you improve even by 1%? Did you push past your comfort zone? If you did, that's a win. Number 3 is learn from every mistake. There is value in mistakes. They are lessons. Every failure teaches you what to fix, what to refine, and what to try next. The only true failure is refusing to learn. Number 4 is commit to lifelong growth. Improvement doesn't have a finish line. The best in the world never stop practicing because they know there's always room to grow. Adopt that mindset and you'll never plateau. At the end of the day, your goal isn't perfection, it's progress. And the more you embrace the process, the more unstoppable you become. So don't aim to be perfect. Aim to be better every single day. Because practice doesn't make perfect. It makes progress. And progress changes everything. There comes a moment in life when you feel stuck. Maybe you've outgrown your current situation. Maybe a path you once followed no longer inspires you. Or maybe you've built an identity around something that no longer serves you. In that moment, you have 2 choices. You can stay where you are, or you can evolve into something greater. Reinvention isn't about abandoning who you are. It's about expanding into who you were always meant to be. It's about recognizing that your past does not define your future and that transformation is always possible. Some people fear change, believing it signals failure. But the real failure is staying the same when you know you were meant for more. Reinvention is a natural part of life. Look at the seasons. Nothing stays the same. Trees let go of their leaves in the fall, not because they failed, but because shedding the old makes way for the new. And the same applies to you. Growth requires change, and sometimes that means letting go of an outdated version of yourself so that something greater can take its place. Throughout history, civilizations have adapted, rebuilt, and reinvented themselves. Those who resisted change faded into the past, while those who embraced reinvention thrived. The same principle applies on a personal level. Those willing to evolve will always find new doors opening before them. So why do so many people hesitate to reinvent themselves? Because it's uncomfortable. Change is uncertain. It requires stepping into the unknown. But ask yourself, what's more terrifying? Taking a risk to grow, or looking back years from now and realizing you let fear keep you from becoming your best self? Many people tell themselves they're too old, too far behind, or it's too late. These are just excuses disguised as logic. Reinvention doesn't have an expiration date. It's not reserved for the young or those who have it all figured out. It's for anyone who's willing to start. Reinvention isn't about making one dramatic shift overnight. It's about making intentional choices that lead to transformation. Here's how to begin. First, embrace discomfort. Growth never happens inside the comfort zone, so reinvention is meant to challenge you. If it feels uncomfortable, that's the sign that you're on the right path. Second, let go of the old identity. Sometimes we cling to roles, relationships, or habits that no longer serve us. You are not your job. You are not your past mistakes. You are not the person you were yesterday. The moment you release the outdated version of yourself, you create space for something new to emerge. Third, take small, consistent steps. Reinvention doesn't happen in a single leap. It happens in the daily choices you make. Read a book. Learn a new skill, change a habit, shift your environment. Small actions repeated over time create massive transformation. Fourth is surround yourself with growth-minded people. The people around you influence your mindset. Surround yourself with those who challenge you to become better, not those who keep you tied to who you used to be. And number 5 is believe in the future you haven't met yet. The most important part of reinvention is belief. It's a belief that your best days are ahead of you, not behind you. You may not know exactly what's coming, but trust that you are capable of stepping into something greater. Every choice you make today is shaping the future version of you. You are never stuck. People stay stuck not because they can't change, but because they believe they can't. But you are not rooted in one place. You are not bound by your past. You can grow, you can evolve, you can reinvent yourself. If you feel like you've reached a dead end, maybe it's not the end at all. Maybe it's the beginning of a new version of you. Imagine an architect standing before an open space. To most, it's just an empty plot, an unshaped landscape. But to an architect, it's a canvas, an opportunity. The architect envisions every detail, the shape of the structure, the layout of the rooms, how sunlight might stream through the windows. They're not just reacting to what's there, they're creating what will be. Now, what if we approached our lives like that? Instead of going with the flow, following trends, or waiting for things to happen, what if we took hold of the vision, started designing our life the way an architect would build their masterpiece? See, you are the architect of your own life. The reality is no one else can create it for you, yet so many people drift, letting the winds of circumstance carry them wherever. They react to what comes their way, allowing life to happen to them, rather than making life happen for them. If you're not the one building your life, someone else will. And if you're just following trends or letting others dictate your direction, then whose life are you really living? An architect doesn't wait for someone else's blueprint. They create their own. They know that every line they draw, every decision they make, is shaping the final result. And in life, it's the same. Every choice you make, every habit you form, every action you take, it's all constructing the framework of your future. Just like the architect has a vision of the finished project, you need to have a vision of your life. What do you see in 5, 10, 20 years? What values do you want to build on? What kind of person do you want to become? Building a life is not an overnight process. It's literally a lifelong project. There will be challenges, setbacks, and adjustments, just like in construction. But when an architect encounters a problem, they don't throw the plan away. They adapt, they pivot, and they keep going. And that's exactly what you need to do. Obstacles will come, but obstacles don't define you. It's how you respond. It's how you keep building and how you stay committed to your vision no matter what stands in your way. And think about this. An architect doesn't just focus on the big picture, they pay attention to the small details too. In your life, it's the little things, the daily habits, the consistent actions, the discipline that builds the foundation. It's the decision to wake up a bit early, to put in that extra effort, to say yes to the things that align with your goals and no to the things that don't. All of these small, seemingly insignificant choices come together to create something incredible. If you're not living by your design, then you're simply following someone else's. The trends, the opinions, the external pressures, they'll all try to tell you who to be and what to do. But only you know the vision that's right for you. Don't let the fear of standing out or the need for approval rob you of your dreams. Dare to be intentional. Dare to design a life that's truly yours. So stand back and take a look at the blueprint of your life. Address what needs to change and where you can start today. Because the time to begin is now. Be bold enough to lay the foundation and make the decision to build something extraordinary, one choice at a time. As the architect of your life, you have the power to shape it into something remarkable. Start creating, because your masterpiece is waiting. The one who smiles when things go wrong has thought of someone to blame it on. The first time I read that quote, it was on a coffee mug, and I remember laughing. It's a great quote. Things go wrong, who can I blame it on? Shifting responsibility or making someone else the scapegoat so I don't have to take the blame. It sounds like something a child would do, but for many adults, they've never outgrown this act. You may know some of these people, or worse yet, you may be one of them. I know I was for the longest time, always refusing to accept responsibility, always blaming others for my problems. Deflecting responsibility might be your survival go-to, but it will never be your growth machine. When you control what you can control and let go of the rest, when you finally accept that where you are right now is because of the choices you've made, man, it's a different world. It's a powerful state to finally say, I am responsible, and if things are to change, it is up to me. I'm not pointing fingers or placing blame. I'm finally accepting that everything that's happened in my life is because of the choices I made. And my future will be determined by the choices I'm going to make. It will be nobody's fault except my own, whether I succeed or not. Our past is filled with experiences where we did the best we could with what we had. We may have made mistakes, but it's not because we wanted to fail. It's simply because we didn't know better. Stop looking back with regret. All those experiences, the good and the bad, that's life. Those are the lessons that come with putting yourself out there and taking risks. It won't all work out. There are going to be things we wished we could change. Those wounds weren't fatal. They may have slowed you down, but look at what they turned you into. You are wiser, you are stronger, and you are more resilient just by having gone through hell and back. You are becoming the person you always wanted to be. It may have taken longer than you had hoped, but that's the universe's delivery system. It will deliver exactly what you need in the moment. You just need to be aware of the lessons along the way. Growth means learning, not only from success, but mostly from failures. Like the butterfly struggling to escape its cocoon, it needs the resistance to build the strength in order to fly. Without the struggle, there can be no flight. You are the same. Use your setbacks as the stepping stones to make you stronger. Not until you've overcome adversity and escaped your personal cocoon can you spread your wings and fly. You may not control the outside, but you sure as hell control what's inside you. Your reactions, your choices, and therefore your future. So as you sip your next coffee, smile, yes. Blame others, not anymore. Every so often, I find myself getting into one of those, is what I'm doing really making an impact kind of mood. I start to question my place in the world, and with that, I begin to hear the voice of doubts. In the day-to-day journey of our existence, hey, I know it's easy to feel insignificant, and I know I'm not alone in this feeling. We often perceive ourselves as mere drops in the ocean of humanity, believing that our actions, however well-intentioned, make no difference in the grand scheme of things. But let me tell you a story. It's a story about a humble beaver whose seemingly mundane actions have an impact far beyond its comprehension. In the heart of a dense forest, there lived a beaver named Barry. Every day, Barry diligently went about his routine, gnawing on trees and building dams with unwavering determination. Now, to an outsider, Barry's activities might have seemed inconsequential.
just another creature going about its daily life. But little did anyone know Barry was orchestrating a masterpiece of environmental engineering that would shape the landscape for generations to come. You see, Barry's dams created a ripple effect that transformed the ecosystem around him. By creating ponds and wetlands, he provided habitat for countless species of plants and animals. The ponds became an oasis for thirsty creatures. The wetlands, nurseries for delicate ecosystems. Through his tireless efforts, Barry inadvertently became a guardian of biodiversity, his impact echoing through the forest like the dean of life. But Barry was unaware of the magnitude of his actions. See, to him, he was just doing what came naturally, following his instincts and fulfilling his role in the ecosystem. He didn't set out to be a hero, he was simply being himself. And therein lies the beauty of his story, the realization that even the most ordinary among us can have an extraordinary impact. In our own lives, it's easy to underestimate the power of our actions. We may not be building dams or reshaping landscapes, but every choice we make sends ripples outward, influencing the world in ways we may never fully comprehend. Whether it's a smile offered to a stranger, a kind word spoken to a friend, or a small act of generosity. See, all these gestures have the potential to create positive change. As Mahatma Gandhi once said, in a gentle way, you can shake the world. It's a reminder that even the smallest of actions can have a profound effect when multiplied by the collective efforts of individuals. Just like Barry, we each have a role to play in shaping the world around us, a role that is uniquely ours and irreplaceable. Think of the teacher who inspires her students to reach for the stars, the volunteer who lends a helping hand to those in need, or the artist who moves hearts with his music. Their contributions may seem insignificant in isolation, but together they form the building blocks of a better world. It's a testament to the power of collective action, the idea that when individuals come together with a shared purpose, they can move mountains and overcome seemingly insurmountable obstacles. So the next time you find yourself questioning the significance of your actions, remember Barry the Beaver. Remember that even the smallest of creatures can leave an indelible mark on the world around them. Each day is a blank canvas upon which we paint the masterpiece of our lives. Let's seize the opportunity to create something beautiful, something meaningful, something that will leave the world a little brighter than when we found it. And remember that you, the seemingly insignificant individual, well, you have the power to make a difference. Not someday, but right here, right now. Sometimes when you lose, you actually win. How can two seemingly opposite results occur from a single event? After all, no one likes to lose. Of course, we don't go into competitions or business with the purpose of losing. In fact, I'd say that losing sucks. And prolonged losing hurts way more than just taking the single L. The psychological impact of losing can alter one's identity, shake our foundation, and cause us to delay entering the arena altogether for fear of a repeated outcome. We attach losing with being a loser. So where's the win in the loss? I'd say there's many things to gain in a loss. When I'm coaching teams, I use a saying that fits perfectly here. It goes, we either win or we learn. We either win or we learn. We've completely taken loss off the table. We are not losers if we lose, but rather we will win because we'll learn. There's a lot of good in a loss as long as we learn from it. A loss only becomes a loss if we don't extract the lessons, if we don't learn from the mistakes or feel the pain or hurt. The experience of a loss can be, and I'd say is, more valuable to one's growth than wins could ever be. Because your true character is revealed in losing. How you deal with it and how you respond is completely under your control. What we forget is that by even entering the arena, we are taking a risk if the outcome is win or lose. See, we're already on shaky ground because the outcome is undetermined. But by taking the preposition that we either win or we learn, there is no fear to be had. You're about to become better just by going through the experience. And what a powerful position that is. You can't be broken because even in the worst of times, you are becoming a warrior. You may lose the battle, but you'll never lose the war. Nothing is more frustrating than competing against an opponent that you can't beat because when they get knocked down, they regroup, they dust themselves off, and come back even stronger and more determined than ever. You can now be your most confident self simply because loss is off the table. You either win or you learn. And what a great feeling